And this Fox News alert also dealing with the president. He's ripped into the FBI in the wake of his former national security advisor's guilty plea and following the revelation that Robert Mueller, in charge of that investigation, reassigned a top FBI agent over some anti-Trump text messages. Let's go outnumbered overtime. I'm Harris Faulkner. President Trump defending General Michael Flynn for lying to the FBI by bashing his 2016 opponent, Hillary Clinton, claiming she did the same thing and suggesting that Flynn is being held to a higher standard. And that's not all. The president not holding back after reports broke over the weekend that special counsel Robert Mueller removed a top FBI agent from the Russia investigation over some anti-Trump text messages, which I mentioned. That same investigator, interesting, played a key role in the probe into Hillary Clinton's emails. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge now joins us live from Washington. So, Catherine, this looks messy. Was there bias against the president with this FBI agent with regard to any of the investigations he worked on?
Well, let's just lay out for folks at home how central this FBI agent Peter Strzok was to the Clinton email case as well as the Russia case. Harris, he was there on the ground floor in 2015 when the Intelligence Community Inspector General referred the Clinton email case to the FBI because classified information had been found on that unsecured personal server. He also weighed in on the decision as to whether criminal charges should be pursued in the Clinton email case. And according to published reports, he was the one who insisted on finding intent, even though the gross negligence statute does not require intent. He was also part of that email chain that helped draft the so-called exoneration statement. That was the statement in July by then FBI Director James Comey, and it was drafted 2 months before Hillary Clinton was even interviewed. This same FBI agent was also part of the review of Huma Abedin and Anthony Weiner's emails. That's when classified information was found just before the election and caused the case to be reopened and then shut within a matter of days, Harris. So he is right there at the sweet spot of the email investigation.
Yeah, so then I have to ask, does this shake any way, shape, or form how that turned out, that investigation? I mean, if he's at the core of it and the core is something that is, looks corrupted or at least compromised, what does that mean?
Well, I think we also want to see this in the context of his role in the Russia case, because he was also a central player in that case. So in July of 2016, when the FBI Director James Comey for the first time shuts the Clinton email case, they then open this counterintelligence probe about Russia. And this same FBI agent, Peter Strzok, he's, if not the senior supervisor, one of the senior supervisors on that case. He's also one of the key handlers for the anti-Trump dossier. And also this British spy, Christopher Steele, the one who did the opposition research for the dossier that was funded by the DNC as well as the Clinton campaign. And then that brings us to the allegation that he shared these anti-Trump texts with this lawyer at the FBI. So this is the subject of an inspector general's investigation, and they're going to be looking at whether any of this shaped the way in which he handled these cases, Harris.
Wow. The greater American public has to be looking at this and wondering, the trust is being shaken now with a major agency within the government, the FBI. I'm curious, is the FBI working to assure that there are no others on the FBI team with this kind of bias?
Well, one of the things to watch this week is that after our colleague James Rosen broke this story on the weekend, the Justice Department moved very quickly to say they were going to provide records and individuals to the House Intelligence Committee on the dossier and other related issues. And based on our reporting, we believe as early as Thursday this week, they could get as one of the witnesses either this FBI agent or the Deputy Attorney General, that's a promotion, Deputy at the FBI, Andrew McCabe. Andrew McCabe has his own issues here, which has been the subject of an independent investigation over his wife's contributions from Terry McAuliffe and this DNC PAC during her state Senate race in 2015. So you got two key players here. They were both on the emails when Comey was drafting the exoneration statement from Clinton, and the allegation is that they had a bias in this case, and a bias that was very much in favor of Mrs. Clinton and not then candidate Trump Harris.
Look, I asked you if the FBI could make any assurances. I don't even know if that's possible at this point. I mean, it's a lot when you talk about all the details that you just gave us to assure that there are no others like that. Catherine Herridge, good to see you. Thank you very much for bringing us the facts on this. Let's bring in Chief Political Anchor and Anchor of Special Report, Bret Baier. Bret, always good to see you. One of the things that kind of pops in all of this is the reaction, not just in Capitol Hill, but around the country. I mean, do voters look at this? What is the takeaway for Americans?
Harris, good afternoon. I think, listen, first of all, you need a scorecard for all this. You need, it's like pieces of a quilt, and you have to put it all together so you explain it. And it's not easy. It doesn't fit on a bumper sticker. But bottom line is you have questions about people who are part of this investigation, at integral parts of this investigation, the Hillary Clinton investigation, and also as you develop into the Russia investigation and this dossier. You have Congressman Peter King, for example, saying all of this casts a shadow over the investigation. Now, that's not analysis of it. That is a lawmaker who's definitely up on the facts. He's a Republican, but one that usually is a straight shooter. I think there are others up on Capitol Hill who are looking into this seriously and say, this is another element that should not be forgotten as we talk about all the different bullet points with this Russia investigation.